Reach down there somewhere and get the oldest heart smile that you might can remember what it was and why did it make you smile? Either one of you or both.
I have a story that comes to mind. Starts off kind of scary. I'm a kid, I'm at home, and my family was going to go camping, which I totally love to do. Long weekend, and we were going camping, but my oldest sister came in and woke me up on the morning we were going to go, woke me up and said, Mark, Mark, there's a tornado. And so instantly I'm scared. My other sister and I were sent downstairs into a spot where there's no windows. My dad is mom and my other sister were trying to put some things away outside before it got real bad. And I'm in the basement with my sister sitting right next to me, right here, actually. And I was shaking in fear, trembling like this, as I recall it, anyways. And I said to my sister, I can't stop shaking. I'm so scared. And she said, well, pray and ask God to help you stop. She's 4 years older than me. In all of her wisdom at that age, she gave me really good advice. So I did. I prayed, and my hands just stopped, and I had real peace of mind in the midst of a scary situation. I count that as God really working in my life. Previously, I had placed my faith in Jesus for the forgiveness of my sin. And here I felt like, yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the relationship live out. Me trusting him in another scary situation. So that was a long time ago for me, but it does make me smile. It's a good heart memory.
Yes. So, Sarah, do you have one or you want to skip?
Sure. Yeah, I feel like as I was thinking back on this, I maybe didn't think as far back as like 5 years old or something. But actually as I reflect on things in my earlier years, what kind of I feel like the Lord brings me to is actually some kind of difficult things or whatever too. I'm thinking about my first time on the mission field. So I'm thinking like college age. So sorry, it's a little older, but thinking about a couple different times when I um, I think I had grown up a lot of my life being really focused on being smart and being competent, and that's the thing I would have wanted you to say about me. Come on. Um, and so I was like a high achiever and like, those sorts of things. And so I think that I can remember specific times when I was confronted with maybe my lack of tact or my desire for everything to go right and not really like honoring or caring about the person who like did the wrong thing or or something like that. Or encountering some of those like cross-cultural things or those sorts of things. And so I think I can look back on that now and like smile and be like, the Lord's goodness in my life to not just leave me as like somebody who was good at doing stuff, but maybe wasn't very relational or but like and so I feel like there are ways that God has really softened me. I mean, Mark has been a huge part of that, of me softening. Yeah, he knew me when I was a little more rough around the edges, at the beginning of our relationship. But yeah, like, so I can look back on that and be like, wow, there are so many ways that I've grown, that I've gotten to experience these amazing things. And because like God has been so kind in, in changing my heart, and changing like who I am,
Growing you up.
growing me. Yeah. So.
Mhm.
Praise God, that's a blessing. And what's rooted, we can see it because I was on one of the Zoom calls where you were leading the prayer session.
Oh.
Shut up. How she get to, what's her story? And who would have thought? I'm saying this on purpose. Who would have thunk we would be here right now? And I get to hear it. And that's how God just sets things. That's what excites me about him. How he'll give you a desire,
Mm.
fulfill the desire, even before you really realize that he's going to answer it or would be answer. It's not that important to you. You think, but he's so detailed. That is
Mhm.
That's amazing. Jiminy Cricket. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You can, I done got excited. I told you, and people here know. To God be the glory. He's such a good God. Woo. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So I'm wanting to know, I know a little about ECWA and we can share more about that, but what are the initials Yukon 26? I haven't asked Amos what that means and why. I know the
Sure.
6, but I'm like, why isn't it ECWA 26? Or what is that?
Right. Yeah. So E is for Equa, U is for USA, Con is like conference. So it's a conference for Equa USA. So it's the national gathering. It happens every 2 years of all the different churches around Equa USA. So there's about 8 churches and a handful of life group prayer cell kind of groups that could be 4 people or like 10 or whatever, like some sort of small group that meet in different places around the US. And so we gather every 2 years for a conference and bring everybody together. And so that's, yeah, Yukon 26 is the one that's happening this summer, July 2026. Yeah, so that's the conference that we both have a part in helping to
Mhm.
plan.
Mhm.
So can anybody come to the conference or
Mhm.
ECWA person?
Yeah, sure. Well, it is the Equa National Conference, so it'll be focused around the church, but it's of course open to anybody to come. Anybody's welcome. Um, so we're locally, so we're coming just down the street. We live in Xenia area, where the conference is going to be. But people from all the churches, from any of the life groups, and then friends are welcome as to come and be part of it. We'd love to have time with people and get to know folks.
Yeah, I mean, ECWA is a church denomination, and it is based in Nigeria, so the majority of people are Nigerian. We clearly are not. And our connection is, sometimes people are like, "Oh, how are you connected to ECWA?" But there are people who are not from Nigeria who are part of it,
Yeah.
and so it definitely has like that unique cultural feeling because that's what happens when a bunch of people from a certain culture get together. But then there's opportunity. I mean, the Church of Jesus Christ is open to anybody. The Lord has very clearly demonstrated that He is for everyone, and so yeah. So
Mhm.
uh,
People,
if you wanna have sort of an African flair to like your interaction with people, well, that's definitely what you'll get. But yeah, but it's definitely open to anybody for sure.
people from any ethnic background or country of origin, more than welcome to come. And people from whatever church are welcome to come.
Praise God. And I can be a witness. I went when it was here in Louisville, and that's when
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
the ECWA, and I was telling Pastor Amos and Pastor Sunday that I heard that they came over here to evangelize us and they love us and so it just the transparency of their love for Christ
Mm.
is what made me so eager to learn more. And so here I am. So, yep. And then it's so exciting. I want to hear the theme, but to know how it started with just a few people and now ECWA is everywhere. And that blows me how a little bit of, I mean, it's like huge. I was talking to the Nigerian friend over there. He said he's Aqua, but he's a different Aqua. So I didn't understand. I don't understand it all. Because I was like, so do you? He said, no, ours is something, but it's Aqua. And I thought, wow, this is huge and wonderful.
Hmm. The denomination itself is really big. In the US, it's growing, and we have a lot of growing to do. That's why we'd love to see people from all sorts of backgrounds get involved here in the US. Yeah, yeah.
What's the theme for this conference, and what could one expect to receive or walk away, or that you're praying that people will receive from this conference?
Yeah. The theme for this year is rooted and sent. Rooted.